Hello there and welcome to Coffee Gangs. Another beautiful evening out here, and it's great to be back on the program. I'm sure your evening has been going really fantastic, and I'm sure that you've been having wonderful weekend, as the case may be, or you've been partying, or possibly you have one or two things you want to get right, but you're yet to get there. Don't worry, just keep a date with us this evening. We're going to try as much as possible to pull you out of whatever situation you may have found yourself. My name is Bolabo Famous School, and let me introduce you to the ladies on the table this evening. Hi, ladies.
Good evening, everybody. How are the personals? And I'm super excited to be here.
What
and
is
I like that smile.
Oh, God, like I'm
What's
blushing.
it about?
Well, I don't even know.
And you're
Like,
glowing in a different
really,
way.
really.
And you're glowing also.
Oh.
Okay.
See me. Oh, blowing hot
I was
and
waiting
cold,
for the
right?
gist already from the glow. Hello, everyone. My name is Munachi Ibulonu.
Wow. Mona and Dupe, thanks for joining me on the table this evening. Let me start off this way. Ladies, have you seen that video? That video of the lady who had eyelash. Is it a lady now? A girl that had eyelashes fixed and, of course, her nails painted. She was going to school with her mother. And somehow it's very dramatic. And the mother got to a point because the daughter was turned back for having all of those things done. An adult would have done that and gone peacefully without being noticed. But secondary school girl, excuse me, like, and the mother was trying to fight dirty. She had to grab the security man that stopped the daughter, and I felt a little bit remorse somehow, like, is she not ashamed? But the girl somehow, I don't know what you ladies think. You saw the video.
Yeah.
I felt that the way she was being treated wasn't really the best option, because at the point somebody was speaking about underground. Imagine what she's putting on. She put a good dress, okay, like lift up her head. Let us see what she's putting on. Snap her everywhere. And I was like, God, what is this?
Someone was saying snap a vera, and another person was like, I'm even taking a video.
Yes.
Well, really, what do you ladies think?
Well, I'm actually going to move away from the girl and talk about the mother first.
Oh, okay.
I think it's really, really, when I saw the video, I was like, this is a disaster. This is really sad. For you, a mother, to actually drag your family name in the mud like that by trying to fight the security guy over
Really?
over a girl they are supposed to be slapping back to back. I mean, it's a no-no for me. And then she was actually dragging the man. They were even telling her to calm down, but still she wanted to fight. So I think she's a very stubborn woman, and no matter what anybody says, she wants that girl to go to school like that. So I think the girl got what she deserved.
Really? You think so too, Mona? Is she harsh?
No,
I think
I think she's one of those teachers at the gates.
I think that was just me.
I think she's one of those teachers. I'm
I
suspecting
think that
her.
was just me. I mean, okay, of course there are rules. There are rules, and in almost all secondary schools, it's not allowed for a student to come with fake lashes and painted nails. I mean, it's not acceptable almost
Now, who is
anywhere
me?
in Nigeria. No, I mean, they're fake lashes, of course.
Okay.
It's not accepted anywhere in Nigeria. I don't know if they're probably secondary schools that are not so conservative, but almost all secondary schools will not accept it. So I'm trying so hard to say to not say she got what she deserved.
Like Dupe, right?
Like Dupe. But I think the school authorities took it so far.
Okay.
I think they would have handled it in a better way, really. What happened to the principal's office? What happened to follow me to the principal's office? What happened to talking to her and telling her to go home, or even suspending
Not
her?
like
if you had
she's a
to go to that
serial
level?
offender, as the
Yes,
case is.
yes. That was from the video. It was like all of that happened outside the school. They didn't even let her inside the gate. That was really uncalled for. So they didn't just embarrass the girl and her mother. It's also an embarrassment on the school. The school's name is everywhere now, but not for something good. So,
But they will say that they are disciplined. Because
not in
that's
that
what they will be
way.
hanging
Not
on
in
the
that
like.
way. That was
okay.
just messy.
Or
That
what
was
if it's
just
not her first time of actually wearing lashes to school?
But we were
Maybe
not
she's
told
been doing
that.
it. That's it. So we can't actually.
We're
blame
not
the
told that
school
because
authority.
if Dupe, let's listen. Dupe is harsh though.
It wasn't the first time. If it wasn't the first time, they would have probably said
Yes,
you're suspended.
exactly.
Or even expelled.
And
In the
did you people
principal's
hear what the
office.
woman that was talking underneath was saying? She was like, school. Look at her finger, and she came with her mother. Like, she just meant the lady like she knew her from somewhere. But I feel that, like Mona said, you know, we are all entitled to our opinions. I feel that they should have handled it maturely in such a way that they'll tell her to go back home, remove those lashes. You know, our policies in the school, they can actually ground her.
Yeah.
You know, for some academic, maybe a session for
even
a while.
punish her, give us punishment for like a week or
exactly,
something.
like wash the toilet or do community service
There's
or
several
something.
things. There's several ways it
rather
can be
than
handled.
embarrassing her. And let's not forget, this girl-child thing too played up somehow. Why is it that most times when a girl falls a victim of certain things, the society do not even look back in terms of punishment here? They look at you in a very wrong way and in a very wrong manner. I felt somehow for the mother, and I will blame the mother, because if a child could dress like that to school, it means that at home, the mother allows it. If she had gone to a party, whatever case it may be, you should remove the lashes and the paint. How would you learn under that condition?
You
Because
go
I was
to
even
school.
saying that fixing your eyelashes somehow for an adult is actually not easy. It's not actually comfortable
comfortable,
sometimes.
yeah.
Because I even wonder how people sleep with it.
A lot of times it feels heavy.
Exactly,
And
and
then you have to
itchy.
keep blinking and
And it brings out water. So really, if you have to study under a secondary school condition where you have like scattered subject, like 8 subjects, you're doing biology, you're doing mathematics. In fact, you have so much
Chemistry.
things you're thinking about. And someone was just telling me, like before we came on, said like, I think it's a Nigerian thing. Really, I don't think I want my daughter, for instance, even if the society allows her to actually do that, because it's actually not comfortable for you to sit in the classroom and your
still a
eye is
student.
blinking like this and the fingers are shouting. You're calling so much attention to yourself. What if she even has a male teacher? Now we now talk about sex for grades. What will now happen now? They will now say the man is taking
I mean,
advantage
we
of her.
should practice this
You know, it's unnecessary attention for that child at that age, to me. And I feel that it's a clarion call for many parents who actually do this. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I don't know what your policies are in your homes. Like maybe you want to go to parties or something, but not within the public where there are policies, where there are standards. You should obey it. Obviously, you know that before you can get your child into Queen's, we're talking about Queen's College, you go through tight rigors. And then you now go to the school just because you want to show off. You get disgraced at the end of the day. But I feel that the parents here, especially the mother, needs to look inward. It's very embarrassing, really.
there are rules. At the end of the day, there are rules. So even if it is
I know
allowed-
you're trying to mind words.
Even if you allow- even if you allow
I
it in
don't
your
do
homes,
look at all
I know
one.
there are lots of parents who are not so conservative. There are lots of parents who want to go all out and dress their kids up like adults, which I
But
don't
do you
think is
support
right.
that,
I don't think it's
really?
right on a normal day. But
Even for the
if you want
birthday.
to do that,
Even for a birthday.
they are kids appropriate fashion that will make your child look stunning.
Yes.
But then kids appropriate. You don't have to wear long weave-ons and makeup and everything on a 7-year-old or 11 or even 15-year-old. They're kid appropriate fashion.
What if, okay, let me ask you, but what if your child becomes an ambassador to maybe a lipstick company?
What age?
I quitted.
It's coming in. It's funny to
What age?
for photo shoots.
But then a lipstick company should
Money is the
try
root of every evil.
A
Can you
lipstick-
imagine?
a lipstick
No,
company
because
should
it's money. She has to allow the daughter.
Photo shoots alone, not to school.
Really?
Not to school, obviously.
Maybe I should have just allowed her to see her mind before I would now ask her that.
I think so too. But you know what? If a lipstick company should try that and make, say, a 13-year-old their company ambassador for a lipstick, just leave them to Twitter. Twitter will pull them. Yes.
But I don't think
A lot of
makeup
people will be
industry
against
actually
it.
do
Yes,
that.
they'll be
It's
But
against
did you
it's
see
in-
Bina
it's in
Boss'
and
daughter
above.
when she was like maybe 10, roughly 10?
With all the makeup and
made
all.
up. You saw the
Yes,
picture.
they
A lot of
do
people
that.
were complaining about the picture, but
Yes.
somehow, if a company sees her and because she looks very pretty, she's very tender then, and goes to the mother and says, please, we want her as an ambassador
you.
for a fashion company. Are you saying that the mother
I don't think
should
it will
turn that
sell.
down?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's sell their company. It's to sell their company in a very bad light. Now, a lot of people condemned the makeup and everything because they saw something wrong in it. So why would I, as a makeup company, want to invest in something that everybody says is wrong?
Kiddies
Yes.
makeup now. You know, you have kiddies makeup. Can't you see some kiddies that are models? That you see them all made up, you know, you see the guys wearing tush glasses and the rest of it.
Glasses,
Maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
Glasses, that's
like the
totally
shades.
different.
Excuse
That's
me.
totally different.
Oh, join. Okay, ladies, we have to move on. Let me ask this question. Would you ever take a lion as a pet? We saw DJ Copy actually having a lion as a firstborn, and somehow,
First baby.
oh my God. Now let me keep quiet. Dupe, please stop. She said it's her firstborn, her first baby.
Well, congratulations to her. Congratulations on her baby girl.
Let's wait for naming.
I'm so and I'm so happy for
Really?
her. But then again, I would never own a lion
Oh, okay. Why?
or a wild animal because it belongs in the wild. I cannot bring a wild animal to my house.
Why?
It's not gonna happen.
Are you saying as a matter of fact that this lion will still be wild? We saw that particular video where the lion was given milk.
Because it's still a
From
cub.
a feeding bottle.
Who does the lion take milk in the wild
No,
world?
they eat flesh. Naturally, they're meant to eat flesh, not milk. But because
But really, that's the training that is being given to the lion. So obviously, that lion might not be wild.
I think the lion will also get to a point where it will be given flesh. It will be fed flesh.
Okay.
Yes. First of all, that lion is adorable. The cub is so cute, so white and
I
pretty.
actually do like the color. I don't
Yes,
like the
it's so
animal.
white and pretty. But then, Copy is the daughter of a billionaire.
It's your daddy.
She she has the money.
Okay.
Now, one of the most important things, apart from the fact that, of course, it's a wild animal, one of the most important things is having the financial capacity to keep a wild animal. You can't keep a wild animal in a lion in the cage that you put a dog.
No.
They need a lot of space, and then they can be messy. So you need someone who can come and clean up regularly. You need someone who it takes a lot of financial implication to keep a wild animal. But then it's Copy, so that shouldn't be a problem at all. But then a person on the street going to get a wild animal.
Yeah.
That's when it's.
But does it really
questionable.
make sense? What is the intent of having such an animal at
Why
home?
does anybody want to have
If
a
the
dog
animal
in their
could
house?
eat up a baby, for instance,
a
imagine
first
a
child.
dog eating up a baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Then how much more?
That's why
a
they're
lion?
placed in cages and they're well.
So why do you
well
have to keep it as a pet? Now she's calling that lion her baby.
baby.
At first, and then she's cute. I was like, what?
Copy. I think
Okay.
it's just really weird. Like, I cannot even get over that video. I was like, what is wrong?
Oh, the
Okay.
lion is
So
cute.
how about people who keep snakes as pets?
Well, different strokes for different folks. You can
Oh, so
decide
it's
to
different
have-
strokes for different folks when it's snakes,
Because
but then it's not that for
as long
lions.
as you're well educated and informed, you can actually keep whatever animal it is you want to keep. As
My
long as it
point.
not affect other people.
Okay.
I think it's fine. But me, personally, no, I would never keep a wild animal.
Why? Why is that?
Because I don't know, I'm
Because
scared
of
for
your
my future.
safety.
Yes,
Okay.
because what if it turns around and say, no, I want to eat you? What would I do? Animals are animals. They don't have
So they
you
can
know,
turn
so-
around one day.
Yes, especially
Well.
lions, snakes, and all those creepy creatures. I
Truth
just
is,
can't.
even the zookeepers are not safe.
Exactly
So
my
you know
point.
there's one day I asked the zookeeper. At the point they were taking us round, and I was like a distance far away from the lion cage. I was like, no, come close. Like, what? See, the road was like, whoa, everyone was just shaking. So I asked him that, so how do you feed the animals? Like, they take their time, they have to lock it in, lock it. I said,
Yeah.
and I had to whisper, I said, has it wounded anybody before? Has anybody been caught in the fangs of the lion? It's like, no, God forbid. And I was just, that thing actually came up in my mind when you said so. I wonder how you can actually manage a wild animal for a very long time. I feel that when you're having stances like that, it takes a lot of training. For instance, if you're thinking, or maybe you want a situation where you have idealized an animal and you feel that you need to have it as a pet, I also feel that you need training. Because
Yes.
it's not easy to have such an
Yes.
animal around you. And it goes to the zookeeper who actually keeps all of these wild animals, and he or she knows his or her way around. They clean the pool, they feed them, they give them water, they could read their language, they could read their mood when they want to sleep. You know, it's actually nasty. And at the same time, it's interesting, but they have this training. So for DJ Copy, I'm wishing her good luck. Well,
Congratulations.
when she finally gets married, maybe she'll not keep her babies around.
Waiting for naming.
Okay, I was actually thinking of Burna Boy, and what's the dancing around now? Burna Boy is being listed as one of the Grammy awardees for 2020, and I feel that,
I feel like doing the dance.
well, he has not gotten the award, so stop doing the
The
dance.
nomination is big.
What
enough.
if-
It's such a big deal to
It's
be
a big
nominated
deal
for Grammy.
It's the Grammy.
That is what we heard about Genevieve. So that
and
Lion
vote to snatch
Heart.
from her.
Lionheart,
sad.
and somehow it was whittled down.
Well,
it went
talk
down
about
the
Rose
drain.
again. Talk about Rose again, but then let's leave that aside.
Really?
Yes, we still, if we want to talk about Lionheart, we have to go back to Rose. But this time around, we're talking about the
Burna.
Grammys. And
What is Burna Boy singing?
someone asked me that question today. When I said it, someone was like, please, what did he sing? And I had to give the person the look like, are you serious? This is Burna Boy we're talking about.
Well, Burna Boy, Mama's boy, I'm so happy for his mom because his mom is always supportive. She's always there for him.
Not
and
Steph
everything.
London.
You know
now.
his last award at the BET, she got it. She collected it for him.
Oh.
And yes, he won the best international act
Yes.
at this year's BET, and then he wasn't. I think he strolled out or something, but it was his
Yes.
mom who went to get there, and it was so
Uh-oh.
sweet.
But I heard that it was the girlfriend somehow that gave him international recognition. What's that her name? Steph London, something London.
okay, yeah.
Like she gave him somehow international recognition and global recognition because he doesn't have it. But I think I feel a little bit perturbed about that news because I feel somehow Burna Boy is accepted globally somehow.
I
But
don't-
I wonder what actually attracts the international community about his kind of music. I know that his music has good rhythm somehow. It's something that is danceable to. But there's some rap, there's some things that have been said, and you keep wondering what's he saying.
Same.
You can't really hear clearly. But I wish him well though.
Burna Boy does a lot of Afro beats and
Yeah,
all,
that's
and
his
you know
style.
the international community appreciates seeing Africans doing things that are
Yeah,
African.
true.
So yes, I think that got him lots of points. But Burna Boy's album rocks Nigeria this year.
Yes.
It's definitely
Everyone
absolutely
dances to Burna
rocks
Boy's.
Nigeria this year.
Can you sing
every-
one of a song? Like your body and something close to that. Do back
When
yourself.
they get to the enter body, yes, no, that's it.
I think I prefer this one. Angelina.
Oh,
what's the name?
yeah.
My temperature.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
What was it saying?
Well,
I don't know.
Angelina Jolie's temperature.
Hard
whenever I
one,
was
yeah.
cool.
Hard one, really. Okay, ladies, before we leave this table, they've been this. I know you ladies will be getting this as a shock, though. But there's this sex tape that was released from
Okay.
Babcock University.
The best school in Nigeria at the
Ooh.
moment.
The
Like a
Christian
shadow.
University. Why are you people shaking this table like this? Okay, Dupa, fill us in. Let me keep my mouth.
no,
Please fill us
You don't want to
in.
break
I'm keeping
the
my
table.
mouth
You want to
shut.
break the
She
table.
no, she said it's the best university in Nigeria. So let's
That's what
hear from
everyone is
her.
saying now.
Yeah.
Babcock, the best university in Nigeria.
Why did you say that?
Because that's what everyone is saying on social media because of, indirectly mocking the school. Not that
Okay.
it's best. but
Okay,
just indirectly
okay.
mocking the school because of the
But
leaked
really,
sex
okay.
tape.
The leaked sex tape itself involves a student who is under rehabilitation from what I heard. The student has been an offender for a very long time into drugs according to what the school is
Yeah.
saying, and that the girlfriend went to meet him at the rehabilitation center, that he was still receiving treatment, and the
Yeah.
girl is a third year student of accounting
Accounting,
in
yeah.
the school. You know, when I stumbled on this story, so many things came to my mind. What was the intention of recording the sex that they had?
said, I think
Secondly,
it was for the
was
guy.
it just for the fun of it? And who released it to the public? What was the intention of actually releasing the video, the sex tape? Is it to downgrade the university, to tell the whole world that it's not what they tell you that they are
They are
doing?
doing.
Exactly. What is this thing about the university? I know the university has come up with a release saying that this is not them, and the
Yeah.
student in question
girl
has been
has been
expelled.
expelled, yeah.
And somehow this girl will be stigmatized
Yes.
in the society. The guy,
Her face was out there.
Exactly.
They made stickers with her face.
you know, if you
already.
look at our society, the lady will be more stigmatized than the
Yeah,
guy
of
here.
course, no one is saying anything about the guy.
Exactly.
It's always about
Nobody
the
said
girl.
You
It's
can
not
imagine
like
what
this.
will happen to her. Now she'll have to go back into maybe to another school. I don't know what her parents will be going through now. Psychologically, I don't know what she will be
I
going
hear her
through.
parents are pastors.
Oh my goodness! Fill me in. Like, excuse me.
Yes, I hear her
Wow.
parents are pastors. So, aside the video leaking, there were several chats that have leaked as well. Chats from classmates,
Oh,
classmates,
God.
and friends who say, "Have you heard this gist? This person did this," and just filling different people in, and then someone screenshots the chat and sends to someone else, and then we'll find it on social media again. So yes, I hear her parents are pastors. And I heard that two stories. The first one is that she offended the guy, and then
So why did the guy
it-
record? Why did he record the video?
they said he recorded it because of himself. He wanted it for himself. He wanted something to remember her with after she was gone.
Wow.
Yes,
So he
that's
never
what
he never wanted something serious at the end of the day. It was just a fling, right?
Not like it was a fling. I don't know how
I think so,
often
it's
they
serious
allowed. I
relation.
don't know how often they allowed visitation to the rehab. So it's possible that it was going to take a while before she visited again, and so he decided to have something he could keep.
But what was the intention of actually releasing it?
Yes, that's what I
Do,
do.
what do you make out of
Someone
all
said
of
it was
that?
his friend who released it. That they
Oh,
had
really?
they had an issue. Now another question is, why did he show it to his friend, or how did his friend find access to the video? So there are just lots of questions around it.
But what does it
Okay.
tell us for young ladies who are actually in a kind of youthful exuberance in terms of relationship? You can't actually blame young persons for having urge. You always have this urge for the opposite sex, as the case may be, but you have to make choices that are healthy at the end of the
Yes.
day. But what kind of message are we passing to the young ones out there who actually have this youthful exuberance? They want to experiment with sex. They want to have it videoed because of what they see in the international scene, where you have celebrities having their sex tape actually videoed, and somehow it could be leaked. What is this thing about youthful exuberance? How can the young ones manage their emotions in such a way that they'll be matured, their education will not be affected, their moral standard will not be downplayed? Like she's saying now, her parent is a pastor. You can imagine what would have happened to them in that church.
Yeah.
Somehow the church members will be looking down at them. Look at you, that you're a pastor,
Yeah.
and your daughter is doing this. So it's quite very embarrassing. You know, how can the younger generation understand that there is a thin line between youthful exuberance and the real world itself?
Okay, youths nowadays, especially ladies, wants to be the second Kim Kardashian. Remember, Kim
Really?
Kardashian came into
That's
land that is
true.
through a sex tape. So what? They can just think that okay, fine, them just do a sex tape too, and then maybe next 3 years I'll be a billionaire like Kim Kardashian. Now that's when United.
Which is sad.
Which is
Like
sad,
in a bad,
because this is Nigeria.
bad light, really.
Yes, and they can only be one Kim Kardashian. So my point is, I think it has to do with the parents as well. What do these children watch as they're growing up? Do you actually?
But for a pastor, would they allow their daughter to be that exposed
Oh, I think
to
it's
wrong
even worse.
things?
I think it's
Maybe
even
they were
worse.
too strict. Would we
Yes,
say they
a lot
were
of-
too
maybe
strict?
Maybe they were
A
too
lot
strict, or
of
maybe they were
times-
too lenient at the same time. There has to be a balance.
There has to be a
There has to be a
balance.
balance. Okay, control what they watch. Okay, so time we have to go to bed. But once a child is actually watching some TV stations where they are showing nude musical videos, for some reason you want to have that kind of video on your phone too. And then one thing will lead to another, boom, your sex tape is leaked. So I think it has to do with the
But what
parents.
happens to communication between parents and their children? Because
I
sometimes
was even going to bring it from
when you talk about the issue of sex, most parents do not want to talk about it, especially for some parents that believe that looking at their religious belief, it doesn't permit them to look at instances like that. And your daughter, for instance, is getting towards teenage age. She's now 15, she's now 16, she's having her secret urge. She has a guy that she already has crush for,
yeah.
and now you're not discussing it. She goes out there to meet her peers who do not have the right information, who tells her that this is the way to go about it. You know, what kind of message is it also giving to parents who feel a little bit tired and not comfortable, especially for the men? I feel that even the dads need to talk more to the daughters.
Yes.
Like, this thing, there's no big deal about it. I'm a man and I've been a boy. This is what I used to feel. It's much easier for a father to talk to the daughter. And once you create that kind of relationship, it helps the girl to make an informed choice. Because sometimes mothers could always be mothers. You're emotional. No, don't do this. If you do this, you'll catch belly. You'll do this.
yes.
Well, the fathers could be very real sometimes and like, no, this is the way it is. You either make this choice
But
this
those are
way.
more logical. Men generally
Yes,
are more
but
logical.
women
are
sometimes
emotional.
can be very emotional.
But even as women are emotional, it's very important that every woman, every parent out there, check their reactions. Now, children will always want to talk about their experiences.
Exactly.
They always talk about it.
True.
Best believe they always talk about it. If they're not telling you as their parents, then they're telling someone else. But one thing that every parent should know is every child that doesn't tell you anything has tried telling you something before.
That you shun the child off.
Is it that
Okay.
you shut them up, or you reacted in a way that was so extreme, and then it just made them think in their head that no, I can't talk to my mom, or I can't talk to my dad about this. And most times they start with something very minor. They start with something very tiny. They could say, so my friend took a pen that wasn't his today.
Okay.
Now there's a bigger story. There's a very large story. Maybe they had done something themselves, but they want to see how you react to their friend, and then you start screaming all the, oh, you're such a bad child, or your friend is such a bad child. Your friend is, and you say so many things. Your child decides that no, I can't talk to my parents about what I have done.
Well, I think that from the lessons on the table is that the fathers too need to calm down a little bit, because daddies sometimes are very hard. Like sometimes it's even easier to go to mommy to say, this is the thing I'm facing, but for that, please let me go and tell daddy this and that. So I feel that the two parents, that talking about the father and the mother, need to understand that there must be a balance. Your son, your daughter should be able to approach any of you on any issue at all. And sometimes you have your own mood swing for parents, because you might have gone through an hectic time at work, and your child is just saying, mommy, like, excuse me. So I think you must also find a balance too.
And parents really have to be realistic when you're trying to train these children or educate them. There's a time I heard my neighbor saying, oh, if a boy touches your back, you are getting pregnant. How is that feasible?
All parents did that. I can tell you that. We just have to go. I wish you can go on and on and on and on. But I think there's a message for parents out there. Please ensure that you have a communication level between you and your kids. It's very important. Be able to tell them anything. Let them also tell you anything, everything, so that you'll be able to lead them aright. I'm sure we've not bored you this evening. I'm sure I've been able to brighten your evening and, of course, put a broad smile on your face. We just have to peg it here this evening on Coffee Gang. Join us again next week. My name is Bola Bofimo School, and do remember to like us on Facebook. That's Coffee Gang fan page on Facebook. Do enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
And I'm Ndupe Smiles. Enjoy your evening.
I'm Munachi Ibulono. Have a blissful evening.
Ow.